Well, good evening and welcome again from Georgia. It is 7:07 p.m. on February the 5th, 2025. Let's get our applicant support hour started. Our first person up on my screen is Sierra. Sierra, you got a question for us?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Okay, so the person that was doing my reference letter, one of the two people,
Mhm.
somebody passed away in her family. And so she got super anxious with me. She no longer can do the letter for me. What are my options? Can I get you guys? I already have somebody else in the middle of writing another letter. So I've already got their information and ready to go. I just need you to generate a new email to them so they can turn it into you guys. Is that
Okay.
possible?
So thank you for that question. Sorry to hear about the loss of the other person that is
Mhm.
requesting. So we are entering, like a super busy season. And Tiana, I don't know if you can do that as we're on the call with Sierra, because can you check for one and make sure it's submitted and all of that good stuff?
It
We
is.
normally would have you reach out to us, Sierra, and for anybody else that's on the call, that's a unique situation. And some things
Okay.
we have no control over. In that
Mhm.
instance, what you do have to do is normally call our office and we can walk through that with you. Tiana is going to, I think, attempt. Tiana, do you think you can do it with her while we're on and get those instructions over to her?
Yeah, I can work with you, Sierra. I'm gonna DM you in the chat.
Okay.
Just please, as soon as you finish, so yeah, as soon as you finish, just submit it again right away.
Well,
Okay, awesome.
you need to actually probably make sure that happens so you can verify, Tiana, that information, because that email address is what we need to make sure. Because Sierra and everybody else that'll listen to the replay, I'm gonna be honest with you. We extend ourselves, we overextend ourselves. I'm just gonna be real because normally when you submit an application, you don't get any options or opportunities. And I'm going to be honest with you, we pride ourselves in trying to be a leader in this arena to make sure you have the tools that you need and make sure you have successfully submitted your application. And that's why we do these calls. So just Sierra, please quadruple check to make sure the spelling is correct because we will not be able to provide that opportunity again. Okay. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Alita, I'm going to go ahead and take Alita's question since I know Tiara is going to work with Sierra. Alita, yes. This is where, and I'm going to go ahead and just state the question so that for those that are on the recording can hear what you asked. You said, I was wondering if you would consider my application even though my GPA is a 1.78. When we're looking at the GPA, so the requirement for us and to maintain um, eligibility with once you know for the individuals that receive the scholar grant is
Yes.
a 2.5 or higher. Okay. However, this is where I say it's a case by case situation, Alita. Was this just a bad semester? Is this cumulative GPA? And you can drop in the chat. So unless you just want to share, we look at cumulative. We do look at cumulative. What we do also understand is that life can life. And sometimes you just hit a bad semester. We're not going to penalize you for that, okay?
Yes.
And we don't penalize individuals that have went back to school way back when and now are just getting back in, but having to dig themselves out of that hole. So
Yes.
this is where you have to just be transparent. And if this is the
Okay.
case, you want to make sure you comment in your application on that because it is looked at. Yes, if you're asking we do look at the GPA, but again, here making sure that there is some understanding and something
Yeah,
around that. Make
yeah,
sense?
it was about 8 years ago since
Mhm.
I've been in school.
Yeah, yeah. And that's understood. Even in the reviewing where we're going through with the individuals that review all of the applications, they cannot, they don't even look at that. What they look at is your current situation since you've been enrolled this particular time and have been working on it. And again, just know that you're not automatically disqualified because of that. Okay. That's a
Thank
great
you.
question. You're welcome. Okay, Sarah, you're up next. Have a question for us?
I have a question. And I think I kind of know that you do have to already be enrolled in a university to apply.
That's correct.
Okay. And is there a period of time you have to started by, or can I be accepted and then apply before the term starts?
Yes, so for you to apply, you do have to already have an acceptance letter if you're not currently enrolled. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm answering your question fully. So if you have an acceptance letter, you could actually be starting in the fall of 25, which is fine. This scholar grant, this application cycle closes real soon, February the 16th. But we do not notify individuals who have been awarded this scholar grant until July. Okay. So that means we would not start making any awards anyways until the fall of 25. So as long as your acceptance is, if it was for spring, and say for instance, you're not going to start in spring, but you're starting in fall, that is a-okay. Make sense?
Yes, thank you. And
You're
for
welcome.
online courses or online bachelor's programs, it's also covering this.
Online, as long as it is, and I'm giving Sarah, I'm going against what I normally say. I normally say one question, but I'm going to
I'm
answer
sorry.
it. I'm going to answer it. As long as the school is accredited and not for profit. So all of the eligibility criteria, no matter if it's online or you're in person, you still have to meet that school just has to meet all of the eligibility criteria. Okay. Okay. All right. We already answered Alita. Tammy, you're up next. Got a question for us?
No, ma'am. I'm just listening.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Cassandra, you have a question for us tonight? If you're talking, Cassandra, you're on mute. There you go. There you go.
No, I'm just listening. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And if I'll come back around, if I do, let me know. Ooh, y'all not gonna laugh at me tonight about jacking somebody else's name. So you're gonna be Tay tonight. Tay, you got a question for us? To Yaba, if I had to guess at it. Tayybaba is how it's spelled on your screen. Okay, and again, if you can't come off mute or if you're unable to utilize the chat. All right, Megan, you got a question for us tonight?
I had two, but it sounds like I can only do one.
One at a time, and then we'll circle back around, okay?
Okay. So when you were talking about the GPA earlier, I am a transfer student, and so I have two separate ones. My university does not combine them for my cumulative. Do you want me to combine them for the application?
You don't have to. I would recommend that so you said you're transferring, right?
I already did transfer, yeah.
Okay. So I would probably, you said they have two. Is it the same school?
No, it's two separate. I went from a community or junior college to a 4-year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, so you would need to upload the one from, because you're transferring over into the 4-year. So if you transferred out of the 2-year, that's where I'm assuming you have your grades, or have you completed courses at the 4 year just yet?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so you at least one semester where you have grades, Megan?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore you would have needed to list yourself as a current student, not a transfer. Okay, and with that being said, you only would need to upload your current, which is the 4 year, sounds like. So it
Okay.
wouldn't be a need to upload the one from the 2 year.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen some places their cumulative is where you combine your transfer with your 4 year, and so
Yeah.
I
Only
never know what to put.
reason, I mean, if again, even if you were just starting to transfer and hadn't necessarily taken classes, you would then just give your cumulative for whatever school you just wrapped up at, because you wouldn't per se have one. But anytime you're already at a particular school and you already have grades there, if you're asked for cumulative, then you would just put for that one. You wouldn't need to combine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. And we'll circle back around to you. All right. Is it Celeste? Celes? Am I saying that correct? And it looks like you're chatting with Tiana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you and get her answered, Tiana? Okay. Wonderful. Do we need to talk about it? I just saw the answers going back and forth. Do we need to talk about the question on screen?
No, ma'am. It's she answered.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. And looks like you already a graduate. You got your hat and stuff on. Get it, girl.
Why? That's for my master's degree from 2022.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Celeste, you're gonna get put in timeout for, well, yeah, we're gonna celebrate, but yeah, this one is only for bachelors, and I'm assuming that Tiana answered that, but we're definitely gonna celebrate you. Indeed, indeed. Congrats.
Thank you. I'm working on my doctorate now. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, look at you. Hey, let's celebrate some more. Again, congratulations to you. Love it. Go get it. Go get it. I love it. Love it. Love
Thank
it. All right. Look, hold on for us, Celeste, because I'm gonna ask you to do something here in just a second. So don't leave. Don't leave just yet.
you.
Julie, you got a question for us?
No, I'm just here listening, but thank you.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, Celeste. Now, you working on your doctorate, so you can't apply for this one. What brought you to us today?
Because I guess I read wrong when I
Oh,
yes, ma'am.
okay. What encouragement do you have for all of the individuals that are on this? Because you're on your doctorate. Give them some pointers, give them some tips, give them some encouragement in 30 seconds or less.
Just stay focused. Stay focused. I'm still young. I'm not an older person, but stay focused.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You don't have to be an older person. You're just somebody who is determined to go after your dreams and goals. And I love that. Focus is certainly where it's at. All right, I'm gonna come back to you for another word. So stay focused once I come back around, because I know you got some more that you can share to encourage all of the individuals that are on this line tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially for anyone that's looking to pursue your doctorate. You got Celeste on the line tonight, encouraging y'all. I love it. And she don't have to be here. Well, I mean, eligibility wise, she doesn't qualify, but she entered the room on tonight. And since she's here, we're going to get out of her what she can give to y'all. And that's some encouragement. All right, Miss Sierra, we're back around to you, my dear. You got another question for us?
Right at this second, I think I am good to go. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if I need to refill out the whole entire application or just the.
Oh, no, Sierra.
Okay.
You gonna give me a heart
Okay.
attack right here.
Me
Please.
too.
Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Okay, let me
Okay.
talk you through, because somebody is going to watch this replay. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, get to the person that you want
Yes.
to remove, cancel. Once you click on cancel request, it's going to open up the space where you can put in the correct, not the correct, the updated information. Okay.
Okay, because it's all empty. When I went in there, it's empty. It's supposed to be.
Was it empty, Tiana? Talk to me.
No.
So it's only empty because you clicked on cancel. That's the only way it
I
can
didn't.
be.
It was empty as soon as I got in there.
Oh, Tiana, chat with her. Is it check and see if it's multiple applications? Sierra, hang out. We got you. We're gonna get it figured out. No,
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, back around to you, Sarah. Question for us? Another one?
Maybe just a little clarifying. You mentioned something about a for-profit school,
Yes.
that it's not for that. Would that mean that it's only for public schools?
So public, private, not for profit schools. Let's talk a
Okay.
little bit about the for profit. I try and be as nice as I possibly can, Sarah, but most for-profit schools are quite expensive. I mean, very, and some privates. I saw you about. So some privates are quite expensive, and again, here it's some rules that they have, and the price tag is what we err really on the caution of with our scholars going through. Reason we do that, first of all, eligibility, if you're looking at the numbers, our applicants are at poverty level. And if that's the case, we would not want you to be spending that much on your education, especially if you don't know what your starting salary may possibly be coming out of that college. Now, I do know that some of them offer a lot of flexibility, but is it worth it to come out with a $100,000 debt to be able to now be in a field that's only going to possibly pay you 55? And, it's almost like you're working from a deficit. And so with that being said, we want to hopefully help you get through college completion with the least amount of debt. And if we do not fund the for-profit, hopefully it allows you to look and see how much this truly going to cost you to complete your time at a for-profit or a private. Not that we look bad. I don't want you to get a negative sense in your mind about those schools. We just want to hopefully make you aware of what type of debt that could potentially put you in. So therefore, we do not provide grants if you are attending a for-profit school. Private is okay as long as it's accredited, but still, even with private, we still caution you to be able to see what that end number will look like for you, and is the reason in that application for you, Sarah, and everybody else is on the call, we ask you what at least 2 semesters is going to run you. And that's really more so for you than us, because a lot of people don't know. They'll just go to a school and have no clue as to what it's going to cost them to get to the end of completing their bachelor's or associates or whatever, particular phase they're in. Make sense, Sarah?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with the difference between private or for-profit. So
And I would say, look it up, and you can really go into depth and detail. Again, I don't want to go down that list here because it's just not the space for it. But if nothing else, we have heightened your antennas to be able to go over and do a little bit of digging and research on your own. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We back to Megan Stallion Sykes.
I'm impressed you got my last name right. Most people don't.
Really?
Yeah, I get called Skies and Skis a lot. Sorry, I should have waited for you to
You
swallow.
spit that right. I about just sprayed that across my computer. I'm not gonna laugh because I will butcher a name. Ooh, I will butcher it so bad. I'm still waiting. Oh, she left the other T person's name because I wanted to know how it's pronounced because I'm sure I jacked it up. But yeah. But yes, ma'am, Miss Megan. What's your question for us?
So it's for your first associates or your first bachelor's, so it's okay that I already have an associate because I got
It
one
is.
before I transferred.
Yeah, and so you're working toward a bachelor's, correct?
Yep.
Right now.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what I remember you saying.
Yeah.
What is not, so that's good. What is not okay, and I'm saying this not for you, Megan, I'm saying this for those who will be watching the replay, is You cannot have 5 associates and be working on another associates. It happens. I'm telling you, y'all, you'll figure out I'm real comical. And I like to have fun on the call, but yeah, you can't, but you're fine as long as you're moving on up to that bachelor. So no problem at all, Megan, there.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Julie, I see your hand up.
Hello, so I'm looking at the application right now. I'm filling out the one for tribal members.
Huh?
It says, it asks for your scholarship, honor, or award, do I need to put the amount of the scholarship in or just the name?
Yeah, just the name. I think it asks for dates. Doesn't it
Yeah,
ask for
okay.
dates in there? Yeah. So
Okay,
just names
perfect.
and dates. Yeah, no, you don't have to put that in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, I see you got Cassandra going. Thank you, Tiana. All right, all right. Let's see who I got next. I got to follow. I think I came back around to Sarah. Alita. Alita, you got another question for us?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tammy, we're back around to you, my dear.
Hi, still listening.
Okay,
No
no
questions.
problem.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Okay, okay. Julie. Welcome, Christina. You got a question for us? So I think you just jumped on. So what we're doing is we're going around asking everyone if they have one question. So if you got a question, fire away.
I just was on here. I tried to do a little bit of the application yesterday.
Huh?
I think I just got tired of so many questions. I'm just not sure how this works. This is my first time trying to get a scholarship. I've never really know how it goes.
What goes? Is
Like
there a
just applying
specific,
for it.
okay? Is
Uh,
there a specific question that you're in that maybe has thrown a curveball to you, you're not clear about, that we can answer and bring clarity?
The acceptance or welcome letter and your FAFSA submission summary.
Okay. So, oh, Christina, hold on. We're going to do one question at a time. Are you currently in school?
No, I'm trying to sign up for school.
Okay. Have you already received, you said you're trying to sign up. So have you received an acceptance letter from any of
Yeah.
the ones? Okay. And
Sorry.
so you said, yes, you have received an acceptance letter?
Yeah, from Southern New Hampshire University.
Okay, okay. So you would need to list on there, it asks you what type of student. That would be a new student because you haven't started just yet. In there for the acceptance letter, that's what I want to make sure you had answered that correctly. You would need to upload the acceptance letter. You would need to upload the acceptance letter, and then you would need to upload your, well, no, it doesn't ask you for a transcript because you're a new student. Acceptance letter is what you would need to upload that you got from Southern New Hampshire, I think you said.
Okay.
Continue with the application from there. Oh, and submission summary. Let me go ahead and talk about that. You have to go over, Tiana just put in the chat a video and just where you need to go. Tiana drop FAFSA.gov. Have you done your FAFSA for this year, Christina? Because that is required.
That's the problem that I have right now because I did my part and I do qualify, but my husband doesn't want to put in his information because he thinks that he'll be responsible financially for it. So I'm kind of stuck right now. And that's why I was trying to apply for the scholarships.
So which means you haven't been able to submit then if he won't provide his information. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So to be able to apply, you have to have it. So which means it would have to be processed. We're gonna hope that maybe there will be some agreement there so that you can get in there and get it done. They say it takes 3 to 5 business days, so you could still potentially get in there and get it done. But you would have to submit that information on that FAFSA.gov site and have a processed application, again, which takes 3 to 5 business days to get back over to you. And to qualify to be eligible, you would then have to get that uploaded in your application. Because if you put, I'm going to be honest with you and anybody that will watch the replay, you can put a document in there to move past it. But what's going to happen is your application will actually get flagged as incomplete because it would be missing the correct documentation. And I would strongly discourage you and anyone else from completing this entire application just for it to get disqualified. I'm going to be honest with you. If you know that you do not qualify, just be honest and just go ahead and withdraw the application. So that way you do not, hopefully you haven't wasted your time to apply. And there are individuals that you request the letters of recommendation from, you actually waste their time if you put their information in there and send it over and you don't qualify. And I'm not targeting this at you, Christina. I just wanted to make sure I talked about this whole spiel since we were here. So again, hopefully you can get it done. Again, you have until February the 16th to get it and get it submitted. But I want to also just remind everybody on February the 16th for everybody, for everything. So your application and those that you have requested that letter of recommendation from. Okay. Celeste, since you're still on, we need to give Christina some more encouragement because I certainly applaud your efforts, Christina, for wanting to go back and pursue your education. And I can understand how it can, certainly present a challenge when you don't have all the support all the way around. So please keep pressing forward to get what it is that you want to get. And, education, I will say this today, tomorrow, and 10 years from now, if I'm on this call doing it, and your education is something that once you get it, no one can take it away from you. So if you're feeling strongly, and it sounds like you are, press forward, and we'll just be hopeful that if not this one, you'll continue to look for other opportunities that can present itself to you to help you fund to do what that it is that you want to do. Okay. So stay encouraged, Christina. All right. Tanita, how can I answer your question on tonight?
Good afternoon. Good evening. My question, this is my first year applying. Does your financial SAR have to be for 2025 for the next semester, or can it be the current one that we're in for spring 2025? And
so it's only one question at a time, Tanita, and it's not SAR. When you say SAR, what are you looking at? We want the submission summary that is on FAFSA.gov. Tiana, can you drop the FAFSA? And so take that SAR out.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, no, I named it SAR on there. My bad.
It used to be called SAR, and so I now try and call it what it is because it can be quite confusing. It used to be called the student aid report. Now they call it the submission summary. And to answer your question, Tanita, if you have already completed it, it's for the year. So it would be the 25-26 academic year because it opened up, I think, in December. Okay. So always, anytime with this scholar grant, any others, make sure you give the most current information. That just, make sure that it doesn't leave room for there to be any questions. So like, okay, is this outdated? And with us, we say it can go back at least 8 months. And to be honest with you, that 24, 9 times out of 10 may be outdated, but because they had so many challenges.
I mean 24, 25. So fall 24, spring 25. Can you use that one?
You can, but the suggestion in Breca, you say, I'm sorry. And when you say fall, it doesn't break it down by semester. So that's what's confusing me. It normally, you do your FAFSA, your submission summary once a year.
Right. So can we use the one for 2024? That's I guess my direct question.
Yes. And
Okay.
so Tiana, can you look at the top? Hey, Sierra, I'm gonna ask you a question here. What do you have? Do you have the most current submission summary uploaded?
Yeah, I got it. I'm
Does
on it
it
now.
say does it say 24, 25 or 25, 26?
Give me just a
Can you
second.
check, Tiana, as well? So Tanita, I want to make sure, I want to say, and I could be wrong, that it says 25, 26 for the most recent one that just opened. But I
It
could
says 24, 25 at the top.
okay. So 24, 25 is to answer your question. And Sierra, is this the one that you just completed in December-ish?
Yeah, the one that are we talking about for the
submission summary?
For the FAFSA?
Yes.
Yeah, the FAFSA, no, that was for 25, 26. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Tanita, look, correct. 25, 26. Yeah. And they do have, Celeste, thank you. 24, 25 would have been pretty much the one you would have done, actually not last year, the year before last, because it's kind of ahead. So like right now you would have started the process in 24, but it's for the 25, 26 school year. So it's a little awkward as to how. So Tanita, did you do one?
No, I did not. So I'm gonna do it actually tonight.
Okay. And like I just told, I think the Christina, I think it tells you 3 to 5 business days to process.
Right.
Okay. Thank you for
Okay.
asking that question.
So my second question.
I'm gonna come back around to you. I'm gonna come back around to you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
One at a time. One at a time. All right. No problem though, but we'll get back around to you with no problem. Okay. Let's see. All right. You know what? I'm gonna work backwards, so I will come back to you since I've asked the other ones 2 questions. Tanita, what is your next question?
When when I submit the recommendation, the application, does a email get generated to the information that I input on the application for those to fill out my recommendation, or has to be attached and prepared? Like, what is the deadline for that?
Yes, great question. I think Tanita, you got on after Sierra, but that's what Sierra was asking. Well, she was asking about updating that information. Because we're at the end, Tanita, I'm going to beg you in my Keith Sweat voice, please double check, triple check, quadruple check the email address as you're entering that information. Because just as soon as you click submit or send requests, that request goes over directly to whoever you put in that their information. Okay. And so I'm also going to beg of you to make sure whoever you're asking to do this, you've already gotten a
financial aid.
You've gotten an agreement from them.
Right.
Okay. Before you
does
click
the deadline for them to
16th is the same the deadline is February the 16th for them as well. And Tanita, Tiana just dropped in the chat the 4 questions that we asked them to respond to you, to respond on. So look at these questions and make sure whomever you're asking to answer these questions for you can. Okay. If a professor cannot answer these questions, do not send this to a professor. Okay. Because they may complete it for you, but they're just going to put, oh, Tanita is a great student.
Right.
We're grateful that they agreed to do it, but find you somebody who can really dot the I's, cross the T's, and spill the tea at the same time about you and your educational pursuit. Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right. All
you.
right. You're welcome. Christina, I know you were asking about the other things in the application. Do you have another question for us so I can get you caught up? Because all of the others have already asked 2 questions.
No.
Okay. All right. Again, stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Okay. All right. Sierra. We back to you, Sierra.
Okay, so I think I got all the information filled out. I verified with my person that the email that I put in there is correct. He says it is, but he doesn't have the opportunity to check his email right this second to verify that he got your email.
Okay.
Is,
Okay.
is that a problem?
No, that's not a problem. But what you want to do is verify that it's been received. Hopefully, is it? Well, I don't want to say hopefully. If they say they have not received it, tell them to check spam. Tell them to check junk. Tiana, you have verified, Sierra, that the email address is correct that you entered in there for.
I verified with the gentleman that's doing the reference that it's
Okay.
correct and it is correct.
So wonderful. That's what you
And then
want.
he just got back to me. He said that he thinks he's got it.
Okay. Yay. Yeah.
Okay. So then now I just submit the application again, and then we're good to go.
You definitely got to hit that submit, like right now.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
Awesome. And that gets you look that gets your application considered, because if you don't hit submit, it's hanging out there in cyberspace somewhere. Sierra, and for everybody else is on, when you send over that request, if right now it still says that it's sent, and that's what it says, that's all that it means. It's been sent. Whereas if they have submitted, and when they submit, it will say received. Okay. So that's what you want to see change. And you will actually get an email notification when they send their letter of rec in for you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So keep your eyes glued to that application, because if they have not submitted, I wouldn't give it but a date, to be honest with you, Sierra. And I mean, I don't know, not for them to submit, but to make sure you just confirm. And it sounds like you confirmed that they received it. But if they haven't gotten it submitted, you want to make sure you're following up with them, because again, the deadline to submit everything is February the 16th.
I got you.
Everybody, we're gonna sing a song tonight. Let's see, Megan the Stallion Sykes gonna give us some melodies. And we gonna say February the 16th. We gonna sing it. Celeste, don't be laughing at me, because if I get y'all to repeat it with me, it'll stick to your mind. I mean, it'll just kind of be engraved in there. So everybody, I ain't ever did this. We gonna see how it's gonna work out. Everybody come on mute and say February the 16th. I'm serious. I need to hear y'all say it.
February 16th.
February 16th.
Hey, I ain't got no beat to go with it, because I was gonna try to put it. Hey, get it, Celeste. Megan the Stallion, you were supposed to give us a beat. All right, we're moving on. All right. Tammy, we're back around to you. Do you have a question for us now, or are you still hanging out?
I'm still hanging out.
All right, that's okay. Good place to hang out.
Yes, it
on
is.
a Wednesday night. Cassandra, oh no, let's come back to Tammy. Tammy, have you started your application?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why haven't you submitted?
I am going to.
Listen, I have to go there.
I do have a question for you. It's not really
Yeah,
related
do
to
it.
me, but I'm listening, of course. And for Christina, if her and her husband happen to file taxes married but filing separate, could that make a difference for her?
It doesn't.
would.
I already tried and asked them
Okay.
because in the 2023 we weren't married, so I thought that was fine. I was like, cool, I could get into it. But when I talked to the lady for the FAFSA, she said no, because we're married.
Okay.
now that I couldn't even do it then because I thought that was my loophole and it wasn't.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. That's what's called encouragement. I appreciate that, Tammy, for thinking kind of outside of the box. And that's what about, if we have any information that we can share and help one another, we should. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Cassandra. Uh-oh. I don't know what that was. Oh, she didn't come off mute. You're welcome, Julie. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Get that application submitted by 16, before the 16. All right, Alita. Did Alita, I think looks like Alita dropped off. Julie's gone. Sarah, we're back to you, my dear. You got a question for us? Another one?
Yes,
No,
please. Oh,
I
you talking
think
to
my
me? Somebody else.
question. Oh, Sierra, go ahead.
Do we
Sorry.
not Sierra? Yeah, not Sierra, Sarah. Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I had all my questions answered. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Megan, we're back to you.
All of my questions have been answered
Wonderful.
so far.
I love it. I love it.
I can't promise I won't think of more, but
It's okay. That's why we're here. We still got a few more minutes. So until we get around to everybody, we're going to keep rolling until we do. All right, Christina, we're back to you. You still just hanging out? No more questions at the moment? All right. If you can come off, then let us know. Tanita, we're back to you.
Okay, so the essays that are within the application, okay, so my question should probably be good. Okay, is this a merit-based application where you're
No, ma'am.
competing against everyone else, but as long as you provide like clear, concise answers within your essays for the reason of the scholarship, everything that's being answered, you provide everything. It's not going to be like you're competing, like only a certain amount of people will get this scholarship.
Well, only a certain amount will get it. It is not merit-based. It is not merit-based. We look at everybody's application as a whole. Let me give you this, and this is the analogy that I love to give. Think about the most beautiful portrait that you've ever seen. There were things that, for whatever reason, stood out to you. That beautiful portrait for you is your application. Okay. So, which means whatever you need to put in that application for it to be a beautiful portrait, you do not need to be shy. But as I like to say, you need to spill the A, B, C, D's and the T's all the way through the Z's. Okay. So, in those questions, one question that I love to share that we get every single year, the question that asks, what is your most proudest accomplishment? And I'm paraphrasing. Tiana, find that question because I want to make sure I repeat it verbatim. But that one question that we ask about your proudest accomplishments, every year, somebody says kids or children or child, whatever, grandchildren. Okay, I get it. Don't have grandkids just yet, but I have children. And I agree with that. But why? Why are they your most proudest accomplishment? So as you're going through question 3, that's one of them. Tiana put all the questions in there because I want y'all to sleep on these questions tonight. And if you have not submitted your application, that means you have an opportunity to think about it, to go back and fill something in, to go back and rewrite it. I'm not saying you need to, but if you do not feel that you have fully answered these questions, and I promise you, if you read it, you'll see if something was left out. I want to challenge y'all that are on this call. If you have already answered these questions, let somebody else read it. Okay. So send it over to somebody else, copy it and paste it in a Word document and say, hey, somebody that you know, love, trust, and respect, and will provide real-time, like quick feedback to you. So you're like, hey, I'm submitting a Scholar Grant application. These are the questions. These are my answers. Can you give me some feedback? What do you think? Did I answer the question? If they come back to you with any questions, that means you left something out. So listen to them as to whatever questions they ask, add that into your response and move forward from there. So it is not merit-based, but it is about you having a complete, a clear, a concise, a detailed application. So again, don't just put one-word responses and think yours will stand up to an application where they have just been transparent. They have been open and honest about where they are, what they look to do, how they look to utilize this degree in their community. Okay. That's a great question, Tanita. And I want to challenge each of you that are on this call to answer, to copy those questions, copy your responses, send it to somebody tonight if you've already answered them, and ask them, can they get it back to you by Sunday? And I say Sunday because guess what? We're right back here again Sunday. I know it's Super Bowl. When I put it on the calendar, I didn't get it. But guess what? Get your ball in your hand and get your butt on this call, and we're going to do Super Bowl. Well, we won't, we'll be off by the time the game comes on, but we will certainly be able to get it done. So great question. Great question. It is not merit-based though. So no, it's not about, you know, you got to have a 4.0. Nope, nope, no ma'am. You do not. You're welcome. All right. Going back around. Sierra, we are back to you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. So I think I'm good to go. And I really appreciate you guys working with me on that one. I really thought I was going to be disqualified or have to withdraw. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I think I can get off because I think I'm good to go.
Okay, that's what happens when you show up to applicant support. So thank you for being here and thank you for asking and not assuming. So congrats to you. Wish you the best, and we'll be in touch one way or another July with all applicants. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
You're welcome. You too. Again, if you have questions, thank you, Tiana, because I don't think I had said that tonight. If you got questions when we get off this call, most people do, info@rankinfoundation.org is the email address to send your questions over to you. And I promise you, we will get back to you. Okay. All right, Megan, we're back around to you, my dear. You still good?
Yep, no new questions. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Christina, I done made it back to you. You still good over there?
I'm good. I'm just praying through it.
Awesome. Awesome. Sarah.
Yes, I'm all good. Just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, you gotta tell me how to get my hair like that. I think I can do it too.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of gel.
Look, Tiana had posted in there. She likes it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now that's a portrait. Tanita, you know, I was just talking to you about that portrait. It just speaks to you. It almost like jumps out at you. That's what you want your application to do. When the reviewers, when they're reading that, that's what you want it to do, is jump off. Yeah. All right, Tammy. Tammy, you still good over there?
Yes, I'm still good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Celeste, since you don't hung out with us the entire time, I want to say thank you for being here. And you knew you weren't eligible to apply, but you provided encouragement. So what's your final encouragement for the other ones that are still on this call tonight? You told them to stay focused.
I'm laughing at you right now, but yeah, stay focused, because you know anybody can do anything if you put your mind to it. I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You know, excuse me. When I was working on my 4-year degree, I went to a HBCU, and I was sitting here thinking and reminiscing. I had a struggle to get financial financial situations. It's not all the time. This one semester, it was, I think it was my it was my junior or senior year. It was my senior, and I went to a lady that used to work at the HBCU. She no longer worked there, but she was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Nothing." She said, a closed mouth can't get fed. And she know my spirit because I go to her all the time, and she know like if I wasn't energetic, she could pick up that. And so she was like, "No, tell me, because if you don't tell me, a closed mouth don't give it." So when I told her, I said, um, "I may not be able to complete my degree." She was like, "What did you say?" And I told her, and she said, "No." I said,
Okay, Celeste,
yes,
I love what you said, and the only reason I'm gonna cut you off because I want to make sure we can get back around. But y'all, she said something real powerful right there, and this is very true. My granny used to say that, Celeste. A closed mouth don't get fed, and I want to encourage everybody that's completing the application in the process and maybe on the fence about hitting that submit button. But her saying a closed mouth don't get fed, guess what? Incomplete application don't get read. So which means that's an automatic no. Okay. At least if you complete it and submit it, that's a 50-50 chance. A yes or a no, right? So don't count yourself out before you even hit that submit button. Okay. So thank you for saying that. That just jogged my memory. So remember, incomplete application won't get read. Okay. And that's not what you want. As they say, the song say, this ain't what you want. Okay. You don't want that. You don't want it to be an incomplete. You want it to be complete. All right. Tanita, we're back to you.
Okay, I think the last question that I had, the income. Um, are you basing the income off tax year 2024 or current?
So we prefer current. I think I answered this about something else. Everything should always be current. I do know not everybody has filed just yet. So at this point, if you have not filed, then upload 2023 tax return. However, if this is where I say you go off honesty, because if you are dishonest and submit information that you know is not accurate, Granny used to always say, Celeste, if you don't get it in the wash, you'll get it in the rinse. So, which means if you submit something that is not fully accurate for you now, it's going to come out. It may not come out in that first cycle of the wash, but in the rinse, we're going to get it. Because say you get the scholar grant, then what happens when you got to come back and verify income? You end up getting disqualified. So most current, to answer your question, Tanita, and if you have not filed 24, 23 will certainly suffice, as
Okay.
long as it's reflective of what you say your income is. And I'm going to close out on this because we're at the top of the hour. Please, please, here I go begging again, Celeste. Whatever you say your income is, if you say your income is $2,500 a month, please allow your taxes to reflect that. Okay. Another thing we see, if you are getting Social Security benefits and you say your Social Security benefits, you and your partner get Social Security, and you list both of the incomes on there, please upload both of the Social Security benefits letter. Okay. Whatever it is that you say your income is, it needs to reflect that in your documentation, unless, say for, unfortunately, some people get laid off, things of that nature. And even if that has happened, you still have documentation to verify that. Okay. So don't just put in there, I got laid off, I no longer have an income. Okay. You may not. But if you're laid off, there's a separation or some type of notice. Well, that's like if you don't earn a job. But if you're getting unemployment, there's always documentation. So whatever you say in your application, and we request information for you to provide proof of that, just make sure it does just what it needs to do, and that's verify what it is that you said. Okay. Okay. So again, I am always thrilled to spend this time. I think it's a great time that we have each call. We will be back here this Sunday. That's February the 9th, right? I think. Let me make sure I'm giving. Yep, February the 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So 4, 3, 2, 1, depending on your time zone. If you haven't hit the submit button and want to hang out, you do not need to register again. Same link that you jumped on tonight. We will be back here. I'll try and get a reminder out as well. And again, if you have questions, don't hesitate. info@rankinfoundation.org is where you can send your questions to before Sunday. And/or our final session is next Wednesday, which is February the 12th. Okay. So I'm going to beg you not to wait until the 12th to get it submitted. But I know some people just, need to wait. I know if you're waiting on that submission summary, I get it. But until then, I hope you all stay safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, afternoon, depending on where you're chiming in from. And maybe I will see you again on Sunday and/or Wednesday. With that being said, bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.